Rachel Hill.
What's up? What's up? You're listening to her in the huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I am here with Mr. Willie Epting Jr. What's up, Willie, sir? How are you today?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, what's going on, Cleveland?
Is that Buster Rhymes right there?
That is Buster Rhymes.
Y'all, y'all,
I got
y'all.
you all in check.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Who you checking? You ain't checking nobody up in here. What
We'll
what
see. We'll
what
see.
TV show was that from? You remember that? I'm checking all the boxes. You remember that?
Mm-mm.
It was a video or something. Ah, dang, I can't remember what it was.
I know
You
that's
ain't
what people talk about whenever they're talking about people being one of the greatest of all time or the best they've ever seen or in a conversation like that. Which means, Rachel, you check all the boxes.
I've heard that and I tell myself that too. I check all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta pump yourself up and,
Make sure you
have a
don't
little
check.
bit of
Make sure
confidence.
make sure you don't check the boxes with a pencil. Always with a pen.
Blue or black ink.
I don't care. Something permanent.
So what's going on with you, man? How you doing today? How was your weekend?
Oh man, look, it was so hot on Saturday and Sunday for that matter. But it was so hot. I saw a dude at the lake fishing. Right,
Mhm.
he threw his rod and reel out and cast his line or whatever. He brought the fish in, and by the time he brought the fish in, just on the edge of the lake, and then when he picked it up, it was already fried and cooked.
Is that hot out there, huh?
It's that hot. I
What's
actually
the
saw that.
temperature?
I actually saw that on TikTok. Sunday it was 105.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, we get some 95s up around here. We ain't hit 100 in a few years. So, the drought of 88, they had like 104-degree temperatures, and that was a lot for us. But, we pretty much stay around the 90s and stuff like that in our peak. So, we ain't seen 100-degree temperatures in a long, long time.
Be very 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 thankful for that. Because I think it was Friday night. It was 9 o'clock. I want to say
Hmm.
maybe 9:30. 97 degrees.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
That's why you see me indoors most of the time.
And you said it's really humid, right?
Yeah, but when the temperature gets that high, the higher the temperature is, the less air or the less water can be held in the air. But when it's 104 and the humidity is 30%, that's still pretty humid.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it's not like in Phoenix or Vegas or Tucson or wherever where it might be 105, but the humidity is only like 7%.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's different.
Okay. So behind you on your screensaver, you have a shot of the Oracle Arena and the
The old
Oakland.
ODOT Cole Coliseum.
What?
The It's where the A's play.
What's it called again?
ODOT Cole.
O.co.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's weird. Um, so the Oracle that's closed, right?
Well, the Warriors don't play there anymore. It's not
Okay.
necessarily closed.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't.
that's what I meant.
Yeah, I don't know if they're having events in there or what. Maybe concerts or something because this is really only the true venue in Oakland that you can have those types of events at. But as I had found out a couple weeks ago, and I said on the show that the A's are likely looking at getting what is needed to get that stadium built right off of Jack London Square in West Oakland. So I'm anticipating that all of this will be demolished at some point.
Two empty facilities, but didn't they just renovate Oracle too?
Yeah, but Oracle, these two venues are older than you and me combined almost. I mean, these two venues are pushing 60 or more for that matter. So
Mm.
it's been time. And That's the reason why the Warriors are in San Francisco, and that's the reason why the Raiders are in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So
So you think Oakland is going to stay in Oakland?
the A's are going to stay in Oakland. Yes,
Okay, well let's
I
hope
was just
fingers
in that
crossed.
stadium. What 2018? I went to the Chargers Raider game.
Oh,
Philip
okay.
Rivers, Philip Rivers led the Chargers on a game-winning drive, and I already knew what was going to happen. So we got up and left. The dude kicked the field goal to beat us, and that was
Mm,
that.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. Stop playing. Anyway, how
But
are
I
you doing?
am.
How are you
I'm
doing?
doing good. I'm doing good. Having a good day so far. Excited to be here. We got a lot to get into. Man, how about that All-Star Derby last night, the home run derby? What were your thoughts about that? Were you excited about it? And then it lived up to your expectations, or were you excited about it and it was very disappointing?
No,
Um,
I was really hoping that Pete Alonso will pull off the three-peat,
but
but
why?
because it's never been done before.
Mm,
I like to see things that have never been done before. But Juan Soto, it, there's a lot of buzz out there that he's going to get traded by the Nationals by the deadline in a couple weeks. He's only 23 years old, Rachel,
I
and
know.
he just I don't know if you heard this, but he turned down a
Hmm.
15-year, $440 million extension.
Yes.
He turned it down. He turned, and I wouldn't want to play for the Nationals or be tied to the Nationals for that amount of time based on what they've done in their past. Yeah, they got the one World Series from a couple years ago, but Juan Soto is going to be the greatest hitter, greatest left-handed hitter of this generation if he stays healthy. He is that good. And last night when he was spraying the ball all over the place, you know, when you're in a home run derby, you tend to want to pull the ball for the most part. This dude was like, "Yo, I'm gonna hit it to right. I'm gonna hit it to right center. I'm gonna hit it to center. I'm gonna hit it to left. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it behind me, and then it go out the park." That's what he was doing. He's
Yeah.
one of the. He's going to wind up as the greatest left-handed hitter of this generation.
Yeah, I could agree with that. And he pretty much knocked out Jose Ramirez. So, we was hoping for a Cleveland Guardian to win the home run derby. It's never been done before out of the contestants that have been Cleveland Indians slash prior to the Guardians. So it's never been done before. Of course, I was rooting for him. It was his bobblehead day recently on Saturday, I believe, and he hit two home runs on his bobblehead day. And I'm like, you just hit two home runs. Why are you struggling to hit home runs? Because, going 20 seconds in, almost close to a minute in, he didn't really have no home runs. He got hotter later. But, coming out the gate, I'm like, you got to get out to a hot start coming out the gate. And he didn't do that. And, got behind pretty quickly. So it wasn't going to be hard for Juan Soto to beat him.
But you got to understand too, though, that the approach in a competition like the home run derby is going to be way different from approach when you're actually facing quote unquote live pitching. Um, so yeah, it's a different approach. It's kind of like I liken the All Star home run derby to the slam dunk championship or the slam dunk contest in the NBA. Now, if I could say this would be kind of cool. Baseball to really make it a spectacle because today, Rachel, I don't know if you saw it, but today they had the red carpet rolled out for these dudes and the suits they were wearing and the way that they were dressing and the people that they interviewed. It reminded me of the red carpet that you would see at the Oscars or the Emmys or whatever the case may be. They have that. They've been doing that with Major League Baseball since 2009. And I'm gonna tell you, Jazz Chisholm Jr. from the Miami Marlins.
Jazzy
He
Fresh.
Yeah, he looked pretty dope. I'm gonna tell you who was the dopest though. If you can go back and look at it or maybe pull it up during the commercial break. But Mookie Betts' outfit was tight. It was tight, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why it was because my wife Patrice asked me the same thing. I told her because she was watching it with me. I said, "This dude right here, he plays for the Dodgers. The All Star festivities is in Los Angeles, and that's their colors. and his wife and his child also had on that Dodger blue and white. Now I ain't gonna say he had the dopest outfit there, but just how it blended together, it looked like he was wearing a Dodger uniform.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So to touch back on the home run derby, I think G Rod from Seattle, that kid's swing is so sweet and so smooth, so effortless. It kind of reminds me of a right-handed Ken Griffey Jr. Who happened to play in that same city. This is not a comparison to G Rod to Ken Griffey Jr. to the kid, but the way that that kid was swinging the bat and the ball was just jumping off of his bat, I was like, man, this dude here, and there's a reason that I see why he's there. Now he's made a bit of a run here towards the second half of the first half of the season, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But the Seattle Mariners, they went on that little winning streak. They started out slow, then they went on a winning streak.
14
And
games, right?
yeah, and he's been instrumental in them kind of being close back into the wild card talk. But the Astros are so far ahead in the division race, they won't ever catch them. But like I said, man, Juan Soto, that dude, oh my gosh. And he's only 23 years old. Oh my goodness.
Just a baby.
Yeah. So I would have turned down 15 because that would put me in DC until I'm 38.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I cut my options like that? Not just because of the money, but because of the location. Because if he keeps doing what he's doing, I'm telling you right now, he's gonna end up in one of five places. You already know what they are.
Yeah, sadly, I do, and none of them have the words Ohio in
Well, they might have the letters O and I in them somewhere.
them, but not OHIO.
I
That's the
don't.
sad part.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have that. But be that as it may, Rachel. Um, yeah, let me tell you something else too that I thought was really cool about the home run derby. How about Albert Pujols?
Yeah, they were all on this jock though.
But sentimentally, it makes sense. This is his last year, and
Yeah,
I don't think he's ever performed in a home run derby before, has he? Or maybe he
yeah,
did.
I think so.
Maybe he did when the All Star game was in St. Louis. But this is his last year. I'm thinking this is going to be his last year. 22 years in. It's cool that he actually made the All Star team from the jump. He's not having a terrible season, but this is not, of course, the Albert Pujols of old that we know who was the machine. But to see him there, he had his kids there on the red carpet with him. I thought that was pretty cool. As a matter of fact, they actually panned to when the All Star festivities were in St. Louis in '09, and how his son was riding on the float in his lap. And now his son is 21 years old and almost as tall as he is.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah.
His son is in the league.
No.
Okay.
No.
What was I about to say? I was about to say something about, oh yeah, Major League Baseball personally called him and extended an invitation to be in the home run derby. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I thought it was cool how the younger players played homage to Albert Pujols. So yeah, I was just kidding about talking about they've been on this jog. I think it was cool how they surrounded him in that circle, after that round of the home run derby, and just gave, congratulations and shout outs and all that other stuff, just showing the love because he's been instrumental for baseball and Puerto Ricans playing baseball, somebody to ascribe and look up to. So I thought it was pretty cool. Cool. Do you think that the home run derby was too long?
Uh I mean, it's baseball. It fits baseball. The length of the
Mm-hmm.
of the contest fits the sport. Kind of like what basketball is with the 3-point contest. It fits the sport. But shout out to baseball and kudos to them for actually making changes because before it wasn't time. They had a certain amount of pitches, and then there were no timeouts, and then you had the bonus ball, and then the extra time once you reach a certain point. I think the players, with the knowledge of them having to use their timeouts or whatnot to get themselves refocused and reshaped back in the batter's box. Because Rachel, I don't know if you've ever participated in like a shootout or something like that, or like when you're shooting basketballs in a contest. That stuff gets tiring. It ain't easy just to sit up there and just swing a
Mm-hmm.
bat, all those consecutive times. They
Yeah.
make it look easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that way too. So when they took time out, I'm like, okay, they exhausted because, like you said, swinging a bat, that many times is exhausting. So I thought it was kind of cool how they had the built-in breaks and then they had the media timeouts and stuff like that. So, all right, Willie, we're running against it. We got to take a break right quick. You are listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We will be right back. AKA Lil Draco, Cleveland's favorite producer. And I'm here with Amari, the best film composer in town. We got something very special to bring to you today. Burton Bell Card, WOPU 95.9 FM presents Grill and Chill, the City of Cleveland's Department of Public Safety. Saturday, July 23rd from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. right here at 7201 Kingsman. Come and enjoy food and hamburgers, turkey and beef, hot dogs, beef and turkey, chips, ice cream, soft drinks, line dancing, lobby house, all of the city vehicles, including the smokehouse, lot vehicles, horses, motorcycles, fire trucks, animals, bikes, DVC Information Center, City of Cleveland Information Center, and the Public Safety Recruitment Team. Yeah, that's right. There is so much more. Truly a party with a purpose. We got DJ Chris Style, DJ Coco Z, DJ Chevy Red, DJ Lily J, DJ Rock Field, and you know who it is, Eric Nolan. Burton Bell Car, WOBU 95.9 FM presents Real and Shield. That's right, Real and Shield with the City of Cleveland's Department of Public Safety. Saturday, July 23rd from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. right here at 7201 Kingsman. This is a summer party you do not want to miss.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. Remember, you can always keep it locked on your regular radio dial of 95.9 FM. You can always download the WOVU app so you can take us with you on the go. You can always listen to us live at WOVU.org if you want to listen online. And you can always give us a call at 216-271-0959. And let me check and see if we got any comments going on in the comments. George Bendicky says Juan Solo. I said Juan Solo. I was thinking a little Star Wars there, even though I've never seen Star Wars in my life. Juan Soto had more smiles winning the HR Derby than rejecting his contract.
True that. True that. True that.
Who lands Juan Soto in a trade? And he said that the Guardians might not land Soto, but the Cleveland fans have the number one farm system in the MLB. I was going to ask you this. Do you think if it was last year's Juan Soto would take the contract?
No way. He
But
doesn't want.
can't.
He doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, but he's a player you can build around.
Yeah, but he doesn't. They can build around him all they want. But look at what the. I think he may be looking at. I mean, and of course he's within the organization, so he obviously has knowledge of things that we don't know. But look at the Nationals' history. Aside from them winning the World Series a couple years ago, and they've when they were perform well like that, those times when they were winning all those division championships, and even when they had the best record in the National League and they couldn't get past the second round, at a certain point, a player is going to realize that may be the furthest they can go. And I'm not saying that the 2019 World Series for them, the win, I'm not saying it was lucky by any stretch of the imagination, because what they did, nobody's ever done before. He may be thinking that was more of an anomaly than actually being in contention, perennially, like the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Red Sox to a degree, um, maybe even the Giants. But to answer George's question, because I actually heard on MLB IT earlier today that the Dodgers might be in the mix. You heard me. The Dodgers are in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals may be in the mix. And then I also heard something about the San Francisco Giants possibly being in the mix.
No,
So,
really.
yeah. And George is right. He says it's not about the dollars, but the length of the contract. Exactly. That's what I said in the first segment, George, that This contract would have put him in DC until he's 38. You don't want, as a 23-year-old, trust me, you're not okay. Let me put it this way, because I can relate to two of the three things that this dude is. He's well, four of the things. He's young, he's good looking, he's rich. I can relate to two of those three things: being young and good looking. But when you're rich and 23 years old, you ain't thinking about 15 years down the road. You're not. He's probably thinking about 3 or 4 years from down the road, and then, as that time passes, he may start thinking about his legacy or what he's going to leave behind or what more would there be in front of him to accomplish at that point. But I think about this dude like I used to think about Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter was young, rich, and had New York by the oranges, or I should say by the apples, since it's the Big Apple. But he had New York by the apples. He was beloved in New York, and not to say that Juan is not beloved in Washington D.C., but why not be beloved in New York, whether with the Mets or the Yankees, or Los Angeles with the Angels or the Anaheim or the Dodgers, or even in Boston, or even in maybe
Because
even
they don't deserve a player like him. That's just embarrassment of riches and spoils and stuff like that. He needs to go to a mid-market team and build it up. I don't know why he hate the Nationals, because I love DC, so that's one of my favorite cities. So I don't know what's wrong with him. A lot going on, and when you got a different type of wealth than other people, a city can be a lot better for you than it is for average people who don't have the same amount of wealth as you.
I get
But
that, Rachel, but you can say that, and that's cool and it's true. But at the end of the day, an athlete or a baseball player of this caliber, are you really going to be so choosy that Washington is going to be above New York or LA? I don't think so. I don't think
no,
so.
but you just get, you tired of that in baseball, though, seeing all the good players just be located, on one team and stuff like that. But it doesn't necessarily always guarantee that you're going to win, because the Yankees had how many loaded teams and they, don't win, and they had won the World Series for a long time. So, it can always happen. You don't necessarily have to have a team that's loaded and always be able to win. So that's one of the things that he has to think about as he thinks about his new team or whatever, who's going to trade for him, will they be a winner?
Well, he's already got one championship, and he got it at a relatively young age.
Yeah.
So, and it's not like he was just on the team. I mean, he was a big part of what they did. Um, I it just depends, man, on where his mind is. Now, again, like George said, it's not about the dollars; it's about the length of the contract. If I am that great of a baseball player, I don't care if I'm in New York already, or I don't care if I'm in LA already. If I am that great of a baseball player, there is no way I am thinking about tying myself down for that amount of time at that age. It's just not on my mind. So
Yeah, 15 years is ridiculous.
yeah, he's gonna be 38. 38.
He'd be retiring. He'd
Getting
be like Albert Pujols.
getting close to it. So that would be, because now that's 15. So this is his third year or fourth year. So that would be his 19th season. So he would be going into his 20th year at that point. I wouldn't do it either.
Expected to produce at a high level, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of Derek Jeter, what did you think about? Did you watch the
I
Captain
didn't
series after?
I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but I do intend to, because I do want to have some commentary about that on one of these shows that I do upcoming. So I, I gotta do my homework, and I gotta give myself some homework and get it done, because that dude right there, Derek Jeter, to me, he was the Michael Jordan of baseball. I couldn't stand him. I
Mm-hmm.
could not stand
And
Derek
stand the
Jeter.
Yankees.
Right. And I could not stand the Bulls, because my team during those days was the Pistons, because Isaiah was my favorite player. So when I think about Derek Jeter, the number one thing that comes to my mind with Derek Jeter was when they were playing the A's in the playoff game. I want to say back in 2000 and maybe 4, and it was Jeremy Giambi, not Jason Giambi. Jeremy Giambi could have actually won the game for us or put us ahead, but he didn't slide. And Derek Jeter hustled all the way from shortstop to the deepest crevices of outside the first base line, flipped the ball back to the home plate, and they got Jeremy Giambi out at home. that is the play that I will remember the most about that dude because it kept us from going. We had one of the better teams that we had had in a long time, and that dude single handedly almost stopped us from going where I thought we should go,
To the World Series.
to the World Series. Yes,
What round was that?
that was that one. I want to say that was the division round, but it wasn't the LCS. It was the LDS. But what we had at that time with Barry Zito and Mark Mulder on the pitching rotation, and Giambi, of course, and Miguel Tejada, all those cats, man, that was one of the best teams we had fielded since like the '89 World Series. I was mad.
What
So
year was this?
I want to say it was either '03 or '04.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
was in my master's program then.
master's program. '03.
Mm-hmm.
What was I doing in '03, '04? I might have been somewhere chemically inebriated.
Because your team lost.
It wasn't because of that. It was just because.
Just to be.
Just to be. So I haven't watched it yet. What did you think of it?
I thought it was pretty good. I didn't want to watch it because I don't like Derek Jeter, even though I got some pictures with him. I got a chance to meet him when I went to the National Association of Black Journalists conference, and it was in Miami, and we got a chance to go to a Florida Marlins game. And he came into our suite and stuff like that and took pictures with us and stuff, and I was going to tell him I was a Cleveland fan, but I didn't say nothing, just took some pictures.
You weren't
But
starstruck, were you?
huh?
You weren't starstruck, were you?
No, no, because I had a chance to, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So no, but it's Derek Jeter, so
I thought you were
I
going to
was
tell
like,
the Michael Jordan story.
huh?
I thought you were going to tell the Michael Jordan story.
Oh God, no. But it was interesting meeting him or whatever. He was really cool. Because Monet, what was Monet's last name? The pitching sensation. You remember
Oh yeah,
her,
yeah,
the
yeah,
female? Yeah,
yeah,
she
yeah.
was there too. So
Okay.
they know each other. So he was dapping her up and stuff like that. So I didn't want to watch it because I couldn't stand Derek Jeter as a player. I couldn't stand the Yankees. So I didn't want to watch it, but I felt compelled because it came on right after the home run derby. And I was like, I want to see this. I liked how well that they did the Michael Jordan documentary. I like how well that they did The Last Dance. So
Mhm.
I was like, this is going to be good. So I got to remember that it comes on Thursdays, not Sunday, because it's easy to do Sundays because you don't got nothing to do but go to bed or go to work. So
Right.
Thursday nights I'll be having stuff to do. So I'm going to try to remember to watch it for Thursday nights. But in this part, it just showed his upbringing, and pretty much it got to the first like season with the Yankees when he didn't play and they lost to the Mariners. I think it was in '95 because they kept on saying nobody wants to go to Cleveland next. So that
Mhm.
was when we were really good. So they showed them losing, how they were winning that series 2-0, and then they lost to Seattle with Ken Griffey Jr. And that's where it stopped at, and he didn't play or anything like that. So he got a little bit of burn, his first season, as a player, but he didn't play in that playoff series at all, but it was a good documentary. It talked about the interracial relationship, with his parents and some of the racism that they went against. They talked about his dad, how he went to Fisk University and played baseball, and his dad never let him win anything and told him I was a better defensive player than you ever will be. So it was really good. It was really, really good. Obviously, it's going to get into a lot of things, his beef with A-Rod and stuff like that, so I love documentaries like that. So I'm excited to see what else is coming next. So I'm going to watch it. I wish I was able to watch the Lakers documentary. I kind of forgot about it, but I'm going to go back and watch that too. But I like watching these documentary series.
Yeah. And the thing too with Jeter, they were talking about how they didn't even think he was going to be good, let alone become what he became.
And how he got drafted too, how that took place, how he got drafted by the Yankees too.
Mm-hmm. George says Derek Jeter, revered by New York Yankees fans, but in Miami, They want to tar and feather him after trading
very,
Stanton to New York.
very true.
Yeah, you don't go to a place that has struggled for years, even though they've won 2 championships down there in Dade County. You don't go to a place and in your first year you trade the best player who actually won the MVP while your team had a losing record. You don't do that.
Well, and then you trade them to your own team.
And you trade him
So,
to your old team.
so are you trying to make the Yankees better, or are you trying to make the Marlins better? I don't know.
Conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
I got a conspiracy theory when we come back on the other side of the break about that. For
All
real.
right, we're gonna go ahead and take a break. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
AKA Lil Draco, Cleveland's very own rapper and producer. And I'm here with Amari, the best film composer in town. We got something very special to bring to you today. Burton Bell Card, WOVU 95.9 FM presents Grill and Chill, the City of Cleveland's Department of Public Safety. Saturday, July 23rd from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. right here at 7201 Kinsman. Come and enjoy food and hamburgers, turkey and beef, hot dogs, beef and turkey, chips, ice cream, soft drinks, line dancing, bouncy house, all of the city vehicles, including the smokehouse, SWAT vehicles, horses, motorcycles, fire trucks, animals, bikes, CBC Information Center, City of Cleveland Information Center, and the Public Safety Recruitment Team. Yeah, that's right. There is so much more. Truly a party with a purpose. We got DJ Chris Style, DJ Coco Z, DJ Chevy Red, DJ Lily J, DJ Rock Bill, and you know who it is, Eric Nolan. Burton Bell Car, WOVU 95.9 FM presents Real and Shield. That's right, Real and Shield with the City of Cleveland's Department of Public Safety. Saturday, July 23rd from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. right here at 7201 Kinsman. This is a summer party you do not want to miss.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I am here with Willie Epteen Jr. And we were just talking a little bit of baseball, and Willie said he had a theory coming back from break. What is your theory, Willie?
So we were talking about Derek Jeter in the documentary, right?
Yes.
And how George commented that he wants the people in Miami want to tar and feather him because of what he did when he got down there. You trade the reigning MVP from the National League and really the face piece maybe of all of sports down there at that time, and you trade him to your old team. And then here we have 4-5 years after that, Derek Jeter gives up his ownership for the Marlins after trading the best player for the Marlins to his old team. Did he get a kickback maybe from the Steinbrenners on that? That's my conspiracy theory.
And then he gonna go be part owner of the New York Yankees.
Yeah, that right there would it would no longer be a theory.
Yeah, I'm surprised he ain't part owner already. Quite honestly.
Well, maybe he is under an assumed name.
Yeah, because I can't imagine him parting from that organization at all. And it was kind of crazy how they said when he was a kid, he said when people was like, when you grow up, what do you want to be? He's like shortstop for the New York Yankees, and it actually happened, which is just so crazy. So Cleveland passed over him as well for a pitcher. So Cleveland had the second pick in that draft. I forgot who had the first pick in that draft, but Cleveland had the second, and they passed over him.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
What would have been had Jeter gone to Northeast Ohio?
Well, what could have been if the whoever was in charge of who bought the Indians let George Steinbrenner buy the Indians, because that's what he wanted to buy before he bought the New York Yankees, but they didn't like how he made his money. And they wouldn't allow him to buy the Cleveland Indians at the time.
How did he make his money?
Shipping and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But we could have been the Yankees. We could have had 27 titles. Could have
Well,
been us.
it wouldn't have been 27 titles
Okay.
because they
Okay.
won a
Well,
lot of those before he he bought the
okay.
team.
Okay, Willie. Thanks.
But I didn't mean to punch a hole in your balloon. But go ahead.
Yeah. But we could have had more than one.
Y'all got one championship?
Yes.
Oh, that's the one from what,
Like
1917?
no, like 1950, 1948, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because the series against the Cubs was the Battle of the Curses.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yep. So yeah, it's been a long, long time. But George Steinbrenner, and George Steinbrenner is from Cleveland, Ohio.
that I did not know.
Yeah, he's from Rocky River, Ohio, which is west of Cleveland.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did not know
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yep. And he
So
wanted to
no
buy
no
the Cleveland
one
Indians.
no matter well, aside from what has happened on the field, no wonder why you guys hate the Yankees so much. I did not know
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
That is a thread that's attached to that hatred.
And as caring as he was, I know somebody who he paid for to go to college, and this person was experiencing racism, at Purdue, and George is just like, you can do it, just stay, you're gonna graduate and you'll be fine, and they remain friends until his death.
Hmm. Yeah, George says Vern Stauffer prevented George Steinbrenner from buying the Wahoos.
Thank you. Yeah, Vern Stauffer. Yep.
Mm.
So that is how history has, history kind of went or what have you. But yeah, we could have, had some Cleveland Indians titles had they allowed George Steinbrenner to buy the team.
Now, isn't it funny how the fortunes of a city, a franchise, and a fan base can turn on the selection or lack thereof of one individual? I think for Cleveland, it may be this. For Nick Saban, when he was in Miami, and he chose Dante Culpepper over Drew Brees, and then the ultimate. How about when the Trailblazers chose Sam Bowie instead of Michael Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what the fortunes would have been like had those things been the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good topic
Absolutely.
right there, though. That really is a good
I
topic.
mean, think about if Cleveland haven't drafted Tim Couch,
Yeah,
you know?
who else was in that class? I can't think of it
I
right now.
believe Dante Culpepper.
Oh, Culpepper was in that draft.
Yeah.
Also Donovan McNabb in that draft? No, he wasn't in that draft. That was the Tim Couch was the what? 01 draft?
Yeah, that was Dante Culpepper. Yep.
Okay. So the 99 draft was with Donovan McNabb and all those other
Oh,
cats.
so Chris just said McNabb was in that draft too. So
He
they
was in
passed over both of them.
he was in the draft
Don,
with Tim Couch.
yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So they passed over both of them for a quarterback from a basketball school.
Well, y'all got it right again. Yeah, you did get Baker Mayfield a quarterback at number 1 overall from a football school at least. Oh, wait a minute, he don't play there anymore.
Willie, can you hear Chris?
Uh-uh.
He said no.
What is he saying?
Tim at 1. Who'd you say was at 2, Chris? Who'd you say was at 2? Donovan McNabb was drafted second.
Okay, yeah. Couch, McNabb,
Talib Smith at 3.
Achilles Smith.
Smith.
Oh my gosh.
Achilles Smith at 3.
Wow. Look at
Mm-hmm.
some of these names. Culpepper went 11th, and K. McNown from UCLA went 12th.
So imagine if the Browns had drafted differently and chose a different player to build a franchise around.
Well, let's see.
People always say that Cleveland don't want to have no black quarterback. Well, now things have changed because our whole quarterback room is black. But a lot of people said they didn't want to draft him because remember they had the opportunity to draft Deshaun Watson,
Mm-hmm.
but they passed on him for Baker Mayfield. And I don't like Dabo Swinney, but Dabo said, if you don't pick him, you missing out on Michael Jordan. And look at them now. Then they had to get him for 230 million guaranteed. But imagine if they went with Deshaun Watson instead of Baker Mayfield.
Mm. Yeah. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
So think about the Cavs drafting Anthony Bennett in that
Oh
draft.
Anthony.
You know what I'm saying?
Is he the bust of all busts?
He up there. I think he a top 10.
You know what's funny about that is that I saw something on Instagram. Oh, it was this. That was the 2013 draft with Anthony Bennett. But I saw something on Instagram. It was actually Ryan Clark and the Pivot podcast that they do. They had Jamarcus Russell on there, and they asked him about being a bust, and his response was, "Well, if I'm gonna be a bust, I'm gonna be the best DAMN bust of all time," and that's what he almost was. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody ain't gonna be good, but he had a heck of an arm, though.
Yeah, but that's all he had. Okay, looking at this draft that Anthony Bennett was involved in, this was a pretty weak draft.
It was.
It was. When you have Kentavious Caldwell Pope as the number 8 overall pick, Nerlens Noel, Alex Lynn, who? Cody Zeller, Otto Porter Jr. at Georgetown was a beast.
That's who I wanted, and I'm surprised that they passed on him.
Michael Carter Williams never turned out to be much. Trey Burke, I remember him hitting that big shot in the Final Four when it was right here in Dallas. He was actually with the Mavs at one point. CJ McCollum, he's the only one out of these top 10 that you can say that has had a good to great career up to this point.
And Trey Burke was a Columbus kid.
And Giannis was drafted 15 in that draft. How crazy is that? So wait a minute. That means y'all passed on Giannis?
Yes, we did.
CJ McCollum? Oh my goodness.
Chris said Giannis was a project and we didn't know he was going to be that good.
Nobody knew he was going to be that good. And that's why
what about CJ? What about CJ?
You talking to me? Oh, Cristal. Okay. So as I'm continuing to look through this draft, Shane Larkin. Wow, he was good at Miami when he was there.
Yeah, he said CJ went to a small school, so.
Lehigh. Tim Hardaway Jr. was in this draft. Wow. Dennis Schroeder was in this draft.
I'm not a fan of him.
Who? Dennis Schroeder?
Yeah.
No, I'm not either. So anyway, it's always kind of cool to look back at stuff like that.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
we
depends
passed on Giannis.
Yeah, that hurt. That should
project
hurt.
Or not. Yeah, I mean, how about Milwaukee?
Yeah, and that's what I was. Yeah, they go on to win. How many championships? One, and get close to another one. But here's the thing, though. They've got that's their franchise. Who can we say in the NBA right now as that franchise corner piece? You can't say the Lakers have it because LeBron is old. You can't say the Nets have it because KD is wanting out of there. Can you say the Sixers have it? Maybe with Embiid? I would.
The Warriors have it with Steph.
Yeah, and I would have said at one point before the finals started that the Celtics had it with Jason Tatum, but he decided not to show up. So now he takes another back seat.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I was going to say that's why Darvin Ham got the job in LA. They love the way he was instrumental in developing Giannis to be the player that he is now.
DJ Cristal said Jason Tatum because he's young, so he is the corner piece. He
But you can't be no corner piece, DJ Cristal, if you don't show up for the NBA Finals when your team needs you the most. How can you be the corner piece? You just a side piece. You the side piece, man. You can't do that and be expected to be in that conversation. You can't. No,
He
no.
said he ain't the only one who didn't show up. So yeah, Jaylen Brown didn't show up.
But Jason Tatum is the only one that we're talking about being the superstar. So if Marcus Smart doesn't show up, that's to be expected. But if Jason Tatum, who went to Duke and was the number 2 overall pick, and is being deemed by all these people as the next one to come out of Boston, and then Larry Bird never played like that in the finals.
Well, Jason is still younger. He's 24 years old. It's been a lot of superstars that went to that got that deep that didn't show up in the game. We can go down the list. I mean, even as much as I love LeBron James, he didn't show up in some series too. That Dallas series when they lost against Dallas. So it happens. You learn. You live and you learn.
But at that point, LeBron had already been to the finals, although he took the team to the finals in 07. So that is a different category or a different perspective from that of Jason Tatum. LeBron James, really, we can't even put LeBron James in a conversation like this because he was anointed as that when he was in high school. So
Agreed.
He's in a different category. But I'm talking about the Jason Tatum who Danny Ainge suckered the Philadelphia 76ers into thinking that they were going to take Markelle Fultz. So they traded up to the number 1 spot to get him, drops Tatum down to number 2. They take him. He does all the things that you're supposed to do in the regular season. But then this happens. And I'm not giving him a discount or a pass because he's young. Magic Johnson was a 19-year-old rookie.
But Magic Johnson also had some ballers around him. Some really, really good ballers. You can't compare those two. It's two different things. Magic Johnson wasn't the man.
I kind of can because Kareem was on the backside of his career, obviously.
How many did Kareem average that year?
Huh?
He's not on the back end.
I mean, okay, but he wasn't. He was past his prime.
You can't. Those two different sets. You can't compare it. You can't compare the two. We're just talking about a 24-year-old Jason Tatum who didn't do all the 4 years of college. He went to 1 year of college, right?
Magic Johnson did 2 years of college.
Right. It's two. That's the difference, though. 2 years of college, 1 year is a difference. It's a difference in playing. It really is.
Okay.
It's not apples and oranges. It really is a difference from a kid playing 1 year in college to the kid playing 2 years in college.
I got a question. So if Jason Tatum, he's what you say he's 24, right?
Yeah, just turned 24.
This is his what 4th year in the league?
Yeah, he balled this year.
He ain't no. I mean,
how many 24-year-olds make it to be the man that make it to the NBA championship that lead a team? There is not a lot of 24-year-olds.
But that's not what I'm saying. He didn't show up. So because he didn't show up, I can't keep him in a category where other people are that have been of similar age where he did not show up. He did not show up at the biggest moment of the season for his team. So what he did from January until the finals was really insignificant.
So you knock him down for not. He played. He missed shots. Not just him. All the Celtics. It was a good Golden State team defense.
But
he missed shots. He didn't he went in there and did a Ben Simmons and did nothing.
No, you're right. But we're not.
So you can't disregard from that point. You just say he didn't win the NBA championship. Will they be back next year? Absolutely. Will Jason Tatum go into the season next year and he's probably going to average close to 28 points a game to 30 points a game next season because he's that cold.
That's a lot.
So what happens if he averages 28 to 30 points a game next season? They get all the way to the finals and he shoots 30% from the field again.
I thought that was happening. He's not at the top of the ball. Look at every year he improved.
I'm just asking the question though, because
we don't know that. That's a what if. Okay. I don't go off of what ifs. I go off of what we can see.
That's right what now. We do. We talk sports. We talk about what if.
I don't go off what ifs. I
Okay.
never go off what ifs. I go as of right now because you don't
Okay.
know what if's going to happen.
Well, as of right now, because he shot the ball 30% from the field and had all those turnovers in all those games, that knocked him down a notch.
For one series, I don't know what you're looking at. I'll never knock a player down. Maybe because I was a player. Maybe because I still deal in that realm of training players and doing all the other good stuff. I don't deal in that realm. I deal with okay, that's a learning situation. Everything is a learning situation. You can't knock somebody down because of that. If that's what we gauge in everybody what they do in the championship game, there's a lot of people I think should be off the list then. Right? You can't do that. Do we knock Charles Barkley off because he could then never make it? No, he's one of the top power forwards ever. We don't knock him down for that.
No, we don't.
Exactly. So you
We
can't
don't.
knock Jason for missing that. Charles Barkley lost in the championship. Do we knock him down for that?
But Charles Barkley did not shoot 30% from the field when his team needed him the most.
It happens. You miss shots.
Barkley and KJ, they single-handedly almost beat the Bulls with Michael Jordan, all those other kids, or all those other dudes over there.
Did they
Charles,
win or did they lose?
But no, the question is, did he show up? He absolutely showed up. Did Jason Tatum show up? Jason Tatum did not show up. Charles Barkley did.
Did he or did he not just miss shots? Did he show up the second game of the series when he won, where everybody thought beat Boston? Everybody thought when the second game when Boston blew out Golden State, what did everybody say?
I'm talking about the biggest moments of the series.
I'm asking the question.
But okay, no,
second game of that series.
They blew them out, yes.
And
but
what did everybody say about Jason Tatum then?
What did they say?
He was great.
He was great.
Exactly.
But
third game, same way. Fourth game, the same way. In that seventh game, just because he shot the ball, he missed. That's not showing up. It's basketball. You miss shots. You miss shots.
He shot 30% for the series. The series, not one game. The series.
You still miss shots. It's basketball. You're going to miss.
But a winner's not a championship person. The main guy on the championship team is not going to shoot 30% for the entire series and have all those turnovers. If that's the case, Steph could have done that.
Go back again though. He's a young 24. That's the first taste of it. He said, "Okay, now I know what to go back in the lab and do."
Okay.
So you can't not. You said like this is gonna be a one-time thing with him. He gradually improved every year. This is another notch he's gonna take. I know what I got to do.
Well, Golden State game planned effectively for him as well. And that
everybody else Golden State didn't shoot great either. Clay didn't shoot great.
Yeah.
The only person who shot great was Steph.
Yeah, but that last game they turned it on, and unfortunately, the turnovers were the story for Boston. It was easy turnovers too, turnovers that shouldn't have been made in a series like that. But I think all of Golden State combined to be able to stop Jason Tatum as well. So kudos to Golden State.
Yeah, like people who don't like that as 24, young still, and not even at this prime, they got a long way to go.
They stopped Jaylen Brown too, so
I don't disagree with any of that. I agree that he is ascending. All I'm saying is you can't be on the ascent and be mentioned as one of the superstars and then have that type of performance. I'm not saying he can't come back and do it next year. Right. I'm talking about for this particular point in time.
Right.
Because Kevin Durant, when he turned the ball over against the Warriors the season before he went there, nah, Kevin Durant, you ain't totally that dude. And it showed until he got to a point to where some of the pressure could be taken off him. That's why I believe forever and a day, until KD wins a championship without the Warriors and he is the man, his legacy will be forever tarnished. And particularly because the Warriors just won a championship without him. They didn't need Kevin Durant to win a championship. Durant needed them. That's why, yeah, he's one of the top 10, top 5 talents that I've ever seen. He is a superstar, but his superstar status it goes down a notch because of what we have seen throughout the lifespan of his career.
Right. I don't push your superstar status down. I don't get it to anybody push it. Like if you're good, you're good. Like if you're a baller, you're a baller. You're a superstar. Now, as far as the all-time great winning championship and take a team to the championship, that's a different conversation.
Right.
Because I don't think he took a team to championship. He was added to a team that was already there and they called. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, our tarnish Golden State won championship before anything else because they needed him to beat the Cavs, to beat LeBron. So that's actually pushes LeBron up a little bit more because you had to go recruit. But as far as Kevin Durant, he could have win somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where, but he need to figure this out absolutely quickly. Because Father Time yields for no one except for your name, LeBron James.
And if the Cavs had took that first game on the road in 2018, it could have been a different series.
Real quick, you down in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am a Dak Prescott fan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I think he's a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Right.
What is all this hate with Dak Prescott? Is it that much hate in Dallas for him?
Well, Cowboy fans are a little off the grid in terms of normality because they did Tony Romo the same way. And Tony Romo was a more than good enough quarterback. He had trash teammates around him. Tony Romo put up numbers. He's the all-time leading numbers getter in Cowboys history in a lot of different categories. So for Dak, I think the Cowboys fans here are so much starving for a Super Bowl appearance that whoever is the quarterback at the time, when the team has done well throughout the year, and then they get to the end of the year and lose in the playoffs like we've seen them do the last few years, they're going to hang it on the quarterback. They're going to do that no matter who it is. That's from what I've seen here over the last, 10 to 12 years. So the Cowboys nation, they love Dak. They love how he exemplifies leadership in the locker room. They love how he works. They love what he stands for off the field because the dude just does not get in trouble. He's all those things. So I don't know if it's not nearly as much hate here as one would think. Now, there's a lot of hate going on, I feel, in the national media. Yeah. I saw First Take this morning, and they were talking about Dak Prescott has the most pressure of any quarterback in the league to win a Super Bowl this year. Well, why are you going to put that on him when his offensive line is trash?
Yeah, I'm not getting it. Like, it's just certain things that I watch, and with national, and we got like a minute so left, and everything. Like, when I talk about other teams, like, so Cleveland Cavalier fans have an issue with Colin Sexton, right? They just don't like him. And I'm sitting there like, you talk about a kid who shot 47%, not this past year, the year before he got hurt, and averaged 24 points a game with a trash team around him. He is not the exact same team it is now. If we go back to Colin Sexton's teammates, he had trash teammates. Mm-hmm. And then I talked to people I got a lot of friends from Philly. They said, oh, man, we're happy to take Sexton. Mm-hmm. Like right now. Mm-hmm. We'll give up a lot. And I talked about other players. I'm like, why? I don't understand why cities are like that with players that obviously are good. Like, I love Dak. Give me Dak. Give me Dak now. The Browns go to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's a lot of their desperation. The Cowboys are deemed to be America's team, and the fandom for Cowboys Nation, not just here in Dallas, but everywhere, but really more specifically here, because you did ask me about here. But here you have some Cowboy fans that are reasonable, but you have other Cowboy fans that'll say in week 17, after we lose to Philly, the next day we going to the Super Bowl next year. And there's a lot more of those, there's a lot more of those Cowboys fans than you think. And those are the ones like hate that team is because of fans like that. So it's crazy, man. I'm telling y'all, it's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I think Dak is great. I think he's a really, really good football player. One of the top. I would put him in the top 6 quarterback in the league.
I think that we've seen the best that we're ever going to see from Dak. Okay. I don't think he's going to be any, and not to say that that's bad because he's really, really good. But I think the Cowboys they've seen he's going to need a lot of more. He's going to need a lot more pieces around him.
Correct.
Because in order for him to have that type of opportunity to get to the Super Bowl, They need that running game from when him and Zeke were rookies.
Correct.
All right, that's about to be our time. Willie, that was quick. Football takeover at the end. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Browns, but that's okay. We'll have more next week and hopefully we'll have a decision. But Willie, for you and for me, I thank you for being here with me today. And this is it for us. This is Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM, and we are out of here.
Football takeover.
Is he still on?
Yeah, Willie's still here.
Yeah, Willie.
Yes, sir.
Willie, still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yo, you great. I love what you do. You're great. Like, and all the people shout on the show, I always say, yo, don't I say Willie's that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
Because you come with receipts and stuff. Like, I hate when people don't come with receipts. And, like, always, no matter, there's no right or wrong with sports.
Mm-hmm.
But you always got to have evidence or receipts. So any answer, any way, can go both ways.
Right.
And so I always tell us, like, you always got to get, when she does it, get people have receipts for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. What do you think they're going to do with Deshaun Watson?
Well, I've been saying if he gets anything less than 10 games, I'll be shocked. I would be absolutely floored if he gets anything less than 10.
I'm hearing he's going to get less than 10. I'm hearing the NFL wants this, but I heard the judge, the NFL didn't put the right evidence out there.
Conspiracy theories to me again. Rachel is rearing his ugly head, I'm telling you. But based on what we know, but more importantly, based on what the NFL has shown us over the years, I would be absolutely floored if he got less than 10. And then what that will do to me or for me, it will really exhibit and confirm the hypocrisy that is the National Football League.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that. And so that's why the NFL PA and him, they said they are ready. If he try to get more than with any games, period, they can take it to the Supreme Court just because A, the owners been messing up.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened. B, the Texans just paid off the victim, and nothing's going to happen to the Texans. And two, Mike Florio. Did you read an article with Mike Florio?
Mm-mm.
So Mike, go look up Mike Florio, who doesn't like Deshaun Watson, period, right? Just like going on. But he defended Deshaun and says the NFL hard line for 6 games is physical abuse, mentally, like all these baselines.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been said that already been noted that Deshaun did none of that. Nothing. And that's the hard baseline. Like that's you do this is the 6 games already.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go above and beyond that to get more.
Right.
And they said he did nothing like that.
Well, then that's definitely something different.
So that's what's jamming up NFL. Remember, NFL didn't get none of the girls that's on the case.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of the girls on the case they don't have what they brought to this judge. They brought 5 other ones. Well, 4 other ones. The 5th one they didn't use because the son said, "Oh yeah, I talked to Deshaun or she talked to him beforehand."
Mm-hmm.
So like NFL case don't hold right now, and they're caught up in the PR thing. That's their problem now. Well, do we suspend him just because it doesn't look good on us if he doesn't?
And then the NFLPA is gonna have something to say about that.
Yes, exactly. That's why this place is so.
Yeah.
It's.
That's definitely new information that I didn't know about.
Look up Mike Florio. Look that. He has an article about that. And he says this is the baseline. And it says Deshaun did none of that. So in turn, he really didn't do anything for their conduct. Except just embarrass the league.
But it makes you think, man, if the Texans really did set this thing up.
Yes.
And I even thought that at the beginning when he said, "I'm not playing for y'all anymore." I'm like, okay, something's about to happen. All right, guys, I got to bounce, man. I appreciate those kind words, Chris, man. I really do. That means a lot to me.
Some good stuff, man. I appreciate you.
All right, Rachel, I'll talk to you later, all right?
All right, bye, Willie. Thanks.
All right.